Well, Paul, how do you feel about the start of a new season once again then?
You're always excited. I think it's a great time for football fans around the country, isn't it? I think the game starts tonight with Huddersfield, Luton and Wimbledon. And I think everyone's just excited and looking forward to it. I think with the transfer windows the way they are, I'd probably like the transfer window to close tonight and we start the season. I just think that's, a little real, but obviously the way it is now, it'll go to the end of August, so there'll be comings and goings, I presume, at 90% of the club, so always excited to start the season. Everyone starts with such optimism. Like every club in the league, we all have our targets, and I always think your target should be to be top of the mountain.
Have you still got that buzz then after all these years of being a...
Stop it now, Liam. There's no need for that. After all these years. You best ask our fans that rather than me. Of course, I think it's so exciting. Like, when you feel you're at a club, especially where you're trying to go forward, you're trying to jump up a level, you're trying to, you just feel that you're on that journey and you want to get to your destination. What is your destination? I think every club in the league sort of has a ceiling, doesn't it? Whether you're the biggest ones, Liverpool, etc., or, the smaller ones. So for us, we're trying to be promoted this year. I think that's a clear target. One of the challenges for all clubs, you're not promoted after 10 games or 15 games or 20 games. And I think managing disappointment through every season is so important.
Good pre-season. Are you satisfied with how things have gone?
Some good, some bad, the normal stuff. Picking up a couple of injuries like everyone. Pre-season to pre-seasons. You've been at clubs where you've been unbeaten and then you go and lose, and where you look like you can't win a game of football, and then everything goes right on the first day. So it is what it is. It's about getting ready for tomorrow. We're certainly looking forward to the Barrow game. We certainly under no illusions how difficult it will be, that's for sure.
And 8 summer signings, are you pleased with the business that you've been able to do?
Always at clubs, we're always pleased. We're always, we're always trying to, be better tomorrow than we were today. It's football. It's how football clubs evolve, and the moving the players on so important. The dressing room changing with, personalities and players coming in, and all with the same sort of mantra, which is wanting to be successful and wanting to be part of a club going forward. So I don't think our business is finished. I've got to be honest with you. I do think there'll be more, signings that will probably come out in the next week or two or whatever. That'll pan out itself out. And as we go into tomorrow's game, we've obviously picked up a couple of injuries, which is, again, it's always disappointing, but that'll be revealed in team sheets tomorrow, etc.
How important was it to get your business done early? Because it looks like you've got the bulk of it done quite soon.
We're always, I think our signings have been very strong. I think, if you're going from the front to the back, Zach's come in and you can go right through the team then, and, we're really, really pleased. It's something that all clubs want to do. As a manager, you always feel content when you feel you've got the squad that you want. It doesn't mean you'll win games, it doesn't mean success is going to follow, but it means you've got a balanced squad. It's something last year we used too many players, but unfortunately for us as a club, we had no choice. The injuries were absolutely decimating to the squad, especially over the Christmas period. So this year, we're trying to reduce our numbers. We're trying our best to have quality over quantity, which is always important, and then maybe supported by some of the younger lads, again, which is important. But the challenges are all in front of us, and as we sit here today, there's a lot of games to play, isn't there? There's 46 games to go, so a lot of football for everyone.
It looks like you've brought the average age of the squad down. Is that something that you had in mind going into summer?
I think one of the challenges for us, Liam, as a club, we recruited to get out the conference. That was our first objective as a football club. We didn't want to be. I don't think there's many teams who enjoy being in that league. And, for us, we learned as we went along. We obviously had the pain of losing at Wembley, which is always tough on penalties. But that was tempered by the championship winning season, which, was a great day, the Boreham Wood day at our stadium. So we recruited to get up. We've had a look at the league last year with loans, signings, frees, what have you. And this year now we've recruited because we believe we've made the team stronger. Only time will tell. Of course, only time will tell. We could go on a poor run at the start. It's football. I'm not one of them who overly looks at, results. I'm very much performance based, because I believe if you're playing well, you'll win football games. So the challenge for me and the coaching staff now is to get these lads into a style and a way of playing where they know what each other's doing on a pitch, they trust each other, and more importantly, they can win enough games to see us promoted.
Do you feel like last year you learnt a lot, which you can take into this year?
learned a lot about injuries. I don't know how much I learned about footy. I learned a hell of a lot about grade 3s and grade 2s and that. Again, you know, I think previous to that, obviously I'd managed that Wigan and Ipswich. So, you know, then was it 2 years in the conference with Chesterfield? A year and a half, whatever it was, sorry, I had 2 years. So I was probably 6-7 years without seeing much League Two football. So it was as much of an unknown to me as it was to most of our players and, you know, our fans alike. So was there any surprises in League Two? I'm not so sure. You know, there's plenty of good teams. There's plenty of well-coached teams now. There's a lot of analysts in football now, and there's no secrets in how teams play. That's for sure. So, will we be a bit wiser this year? Hopefully. Will we be a bit stronger? Hopefully. And will we have less injuries? Hopefully. So, if all the hopefullys add up, hopefully we can have a good season.
Yeah, just on the injuries then, have you? I suppose you've reviewed that from last season, have you, and taken it forward?
Listen, everyone tries now with sports science. It's an injury prevention. It's something that you can't prevent injuries in sport, and especially in contact sport. You know, you'll never ever stop injuries. So, you know, you can study and do as much as you want. A lot of the studies go on training and training methods and, you know, recovery and different stuff. But the challenge is you'll always get injuries. They're part and parcel of football. You're never going to stop it. So minimising them is very important. And if you can prevent some, then all the better. For us now, it's just getting the squad in place, finishing it off, and then go try and make our supporters proud by having a really good season.
Just on Barrow then, obviously you had 2 wins against them last season, both narrow 1-0 wins. I suppose it must be difficult to know how they're going to shape up, you know, given that it's still it's the first game of the season. So what are you expecting?
It's a really tough game. Wingy sets his teams up really, really well. They've got a lot of attention to detail. Going off watching them pre-season, where we've watched them, we've studied the games they played, no different than they'll have done the same with us. And tomorrow's game will take place. It's football, isn't it? I can't preempt what Barrow will do. I can go off some of the formations or some of the stuff they've done in the past. But like every team who come here last year, we showed signs of weakness by conceding goals. So, you know, I think a lot of teams will turn up at our stadium expecting, you know, if you can score first and if the crowd can get a bit edgy, then the reality is you can get a positive result. So I can't control anything Wingy and the staff want to do. So all I can control is how our team plays, and certainly I know our supporters will be right behind the team. And, you know, if we turn up and we play well, then I feel we win the game. Obviously, if Barrow do the same, they'll feel the same. So I have great respect for managers and, you know, other clubs we play. So, but my big thing is concentrating on ourselves and can we play really well tomorrow.